Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. We are again together with a new topic, and the topic is quantifiers. Quantifiers are difficult to use, but this is not impossible job to use them. We can use them in the sentences easily. So let's start our topic. First of all, we have here introduction to the quantifiers. Quantifiers are type of determiners, and determiners we read when we read about articles, and quantifiers denote imprecise quantities that mean we cannot count that, or those are not fixed. They differ from number and numeral, which indicate precise quantities. So if we want to describe a precise quantity, then we use article with them. But if the quantity is not precise or imprecise, then we use quantifiers with them. The most common quantifiers are some, any, much, many, a lot, a few, several, and enough. Now, types of quantifiers. Usually we divide quantifiers into three types. Number one, quantifiers of large quantities. If you want to show a large imprecise quantity, then you can use these quantifiers in your sentences. Much, many, lots of, plenty of, numerous, a large number of, and etc. As you make more practice of using quantifiers, you learn more quantifiers. Second one, quantifiers of small quantities. And if you want to show the small quantity, imprecise quantity, then you can use few, a few, little, a little, not many, not much, a small quantity, or a small number of, and etc. And this is up to your practice. As much you will make practice of using quantifier in your sentences, as much you will learn to use them. And third type of quantifiers is neutral quantifiers. It means we can use them with both type of noun, count and non-count too. Some, any, a number of, several, and enough. Now, first of all, I will describe you neutral quantifiers so that you can make a difference between quantifiers of large quantities and small quantities. So neutral quantifiers are, as previously I explained you, some, any, a number of, several, and enough. So the important thing about some and any, that these both are quantifiers and article. Maybe this is new information for some of the people, but some and any are counted as article too, and these are article for count and non-count noun both. So if you use a and for as article for precise quantities, then you can use some and any for imprecise quantities. An important point about some is that we use some in affirmative or simple sentences, positive sentences only. And if you want to use some in negative and interrogative sentences, or in negative or interrogative context, then we use any in place of some. So you can say some and any are antonym to each other. Now, several and a number of. Both of these quantifiers imply more than one, but less than a lot. It means in the meaning of few you can use them, several or a number of. If you are using several in the sentences, it means more than one, but not a lot of. And the same case is with a number of. And they are usually used in affirmative sentences only. It means if you want to use in negative sentences, according to the grammatical rule, that would be wrong. Now, neutral quantifiers. enough. This is next one in this category, in neutral quantifiers category. And enough implies a sufficient quantity, and you can use enough in all type of context. You can use in affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and interrogative sentences. Now here we have some examples of neutral quantifiers. All of the above which I explain you, we will use now in the sentences. I have got some apples in my basket and some water in my bottle. Now I have used some here in this sentence with both type of nouns, count noun and non-count noun. Apple is count noun and I have used here some. And water is non-count noun and I have used some with water too. With non-count noun, this is easy to understand, that we use any and some. But for if you are using some with count noun, it's mean the quantity is imprecise. Mean you are not sure what is the actual or exact number of that count noun. That's why we can use some in that case. Now I haven't got any apples in my basket nor any water in my bottle. Now when I change the same sentence into negative, then I didn't use some in my sentence. I replace some with any. I haven't got any apples in my basket nor any water in my bottle. The same case would be with the interrogative sentence. When I change the same sentence into interrogative, I wrote the sentence like that: have you got any apples in your basket or any water in your bottle? So negative and interrogative. Usually we don't use in these type of sentences some. We use any in place of them. Now further examples we have here. We had some visitors last weekend, but we didn't have any this weekend. Now visitors, again count noun, but we are not sure about the number of the visitors, or we don't know what is the exact number of visitors. That's why we have used here some. And when I write the next sentence in negative, then I didn't use some, I used here any. Number 5, have you got any rooms free for the stay? This is interrogative sentence. That's why if you want to inquire about imprecise quantity, then you will use any in the sentence. Number 6, there are several, or you can use a number of, right? Several and a number of, both are same in meaning. So there are several books by Banu Qudsiya in the college library. You can use a number of books, right? Or you can use several here. Both would be right. Several people, or you can use a number of people said that they had seen the missing child. Several, right? Not a lot, right? And you are not sure about, that's why you have used here several or a number of. Now further examples. We can get the tickets for concert. I have got enough money now. About enough, I explained you that we can use enough in all contexts. It's mean in negative, interrogative, and simple sentences, affirmative sentences, you can use enough. Now you can check the examples. We can get the tickets for the concert. I have got enough money. Enough money mean a lot of money now. Now, have you got enough money for the tickets? Interrogative sentence, and I have used enough as it is. I haven't got enough money for the tickets. Negative sentence, and you can see that I have used enough in negative sentence too. Now we will discuss here quantifiers of large quantities. As I explained you that quantifiers of large quantities are much, many, lots of, plenty of, numerous, a large number of, and etc. You can make your practice and you will learn more. So first of all, much and many. Much is used with non-count noun. Remember this thing, always in singular, right? Examples will explain you further about use of much, but the thing to remember is we used in with non-count noun and in singular. Many is used with the count noun in the plural. How we will learn with the help of the examples. Now, important note about much and many, that in modern English, we are discussing according to the modern English, that much and many are not often used in affirmative sentences, but in negative and interrogative contexts. It's mean much and many we use in negative sentences. If you want to use them in affirmative sentences, then we will replace with some other quantifiers here. What quantifier? You will learn further. Now, quantifiers of large quantities continue here. Lots of, a lot of, plenty of, a large number of, and numerous. These expressions all means more or less exactly the same. It's mean you can use any of them, but they have their grading too. Remember this thing. And what the grading is, you will see further. First of all, we see the examples here. I haven't got much change. I have only got a 10 rupee note. Now, change, and I have used here much with that. As I explained to you that we use much with non-count noun in singular. So you can check the sentence. I haven't got much change. I have only got a 10 rupee note. Now, is there much unemployment in the area? Unemployment. This is a non-count noun, and we have used here much. Next, how many eggs are there in the cake? Now, eggs are count noun. That's why I have used here many. And how much sugar will you take in your tea? Sugar, non-count. That's why much I have used here, not how many sugar, right? It was pouring with rain, but there was not much wind. Wind is non-count. That's why I have used here much. Now, a lot of, many, and much have the similar meaning, but we often use them differently, right? How? A lot of an affirmative sentence only. We use a lot of in affirmative sentences only. It means we cannot use them in negative and interrogative. If you want to use a lot of according to the meaning in negative and interrogative sentences, then this is simple. We will use there much or many. He watches a lot of films. Mean you can see positive sentences, and a lot of we can use in this context. Now, he drinks a lot of coffee. Non-count. Sorry, positive. So we have used here a lot of. Then quantifiers of large quantity. We will move further. Now we will see here according to the grading from most informal to the most formal. It's mean grading will show you which quantifier is informal to use or which formal to use. First of all, lots of, and we are going from the most informal to most formal. It's mean lots of, most informal. So a lot of is better than lots of, then plenty of better than both of them, then a large number of better than all above three, then numerous would be the most formal to use. Now, small quantity quantifiers. I explained you a few, little, a little, not many, not much, a small number of, and etc. So these quantifiers are normally used only in the affirmative sentences. Remember this thing, to which they give a negative coloring, right? If we are using them in positive sentences, but our meaning would be negative. Now, a little, and not much are used with non-count noun. always in singular. And few, a few, and not many are used with count noun in plural sense. Sentences will explain. Now example sentences we will see here. Few people can speak more than 3 languages. Now people, we have used here few. A few of the painting in this gallery are really good. A few. Now painting count noun, that's why a few. And I is giving you idea that we use it a few with count noun. They had little money to spend. Little mean not much, almost nothing. So if almost nothing you want to say that, then you can use little just. Now 4, she saves a little money every month. Now a little mean some money or a small amount of money. So this is the difference between little and a little. And the same is few and a few. Now remember, a little is equal to a few, and we use both of them for non-count equal to count, right? Non-count mean a little you will use with non-count, and a few you will use with count noun. As same, little and few. Little for non-count and few for plural count.